Being a single parent means making decisions that protect your home, your peace, and your capacity. And one of the hardest conversations we face is when our child wants a pet. But we know deep down that bringing an animal into the home just doesn't fit reality. Hey everyone, welcome to the Mom2Mentor podcast. As this is a reminder, we are more than nurturers, we are mentors. So today I'm talking about the real side of pet ownership as a single parent, the benefits, the challenges, and the legal responsibilities, and how to lovingly explain to your child or your children why now may not be the right time for a pet and what alternatives can still give them comfort, joy, and connection. Because yes, pets bring joy and companionship, but they also come with laws, and I'm really talking about dogs here, responsibilities, costs that many single parent households simply can't absorb, from required vaccinations and dog tags to leash laws to pet deposits and even liability if a dog bites someone. Owning a pet is a serious commitment. And beyond that, there are animal cruelty laws. If a pet is neglected, abandoned, or not cared for properly, it can become a legal issue. And as single parents, we have to be honest about whether we can meet those standards. Let's talk about what this means as far as how you discuss this with your children. And the first piece is time. Pets need daily care, feeding, walking, grooming, cleaning up accidents, training, and giving them attention. And dogs especially need consistency. Just like humans have to maintain good hygiene, this also has to occur with pets. Yeah, have you ever walked into someone's house and you're like, ooh, what's that smell? You automatically know they have a pet in the house and can leave your house with a lasting odor. Not to mention, they attract fleas and other insects, and that's just not dogs, but cats or hamsters, all of these little pets that your child wants, they attract insects. They destroy personal property. They need someone who can be present. And for many single parents, our schedules are too unpredictable to have a pet. You're juggling work, school, activities, appointments, and everything else life throws at you. Adding a pet to that mix can become overwhelming really fast. And then there's the cost side of it. Pet ownership isn't just buying food and toys, it's vaccinations, grooming, emergency vet visits, pet deposits, monthly pet rent, leashes, crates, bedding, and unexpected medical bills that can easily reach hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And when you're already stretching every dollar to keep your household running, those costs can create stress that affects both you and your child. And housing. Some of you live in apartments or rental homes with pet restrictions, breed restrictions, weight limits, pet deposits, or monthly fees. Some landlords simply don't allow pets at all because they tear up stuff. So even if your heart says yes, your housing situation may say, yeah, this is not the right time. And legally, owning a pet isn't just emotional, It's a legal commitment. Most states require dogs to have rabies vaccinations. Dogs must be licensed and wear tags showing their vaccination status and your contact information. And there are leash laws, noise laws, and nuisance laws. And if your dog is barking excessively or roaming freely, you can be fined. These laws exist to protect the community, but they also add responsibilities that the single parent may not have the capacity to manage. Think about that, Mom. And Lord have mercy if there's a dog bite. And here's something many parents don't think about. If your dog bites someone, you are legally responsible. That means medical bills, lost wages, pain, suffering claims, legal fees, and possibly higher insurance premiums. In some cases, insurance companies will drop coverage altogether. And animal control may quarantine the dog, label it as dangerous, require a muzzle, or restrict where it can go. In severe cases, the dog may be removed. That's a heavy burden for any parent, but especially for a single parent. Yeah, some people treat pets as a family member. But the other thing you have to consider, ladies, is animal cruelty. And we also have to talk about animal cruelty laws. Neglect is considered abuse. So if you just ain't got time and you're trying to make sure little Johnny and little Ruthie is taken care of and little Rover over there in the corner, you can't give him that time and he over there having issues, yeah, somebody can report that. It's almost like child abuse, right? So if a pet isn't fed, doesn't have water, doesn't have shelter, or doesn't receive medical care, it can become a criminal issue. Did you know that? Yeah. Veterinarians and animal control officers are required to report suspected neglect. Yeah, and you don't need those additional problems, moms, especially for something that's optional. Your children are not optional. Pets are. And when you think about animal cruelty, penalties can include fines, misdemeanor, or felony charges. You saw in the news recently about how some of these people have been mistreating dogs and what happened to them. If you haven't, I have. Yeah. And it also can result into jail time. You don't need that. And even losing the right to own animals in the future. If life is getting overwhelming, and let's be honest, life does get overwhelming, and the pet's needs aren't met, it's not just sad, it's legally serious. How do you talk to your child why a pet doesn't fit right now? You want to start with empathy, using a standard of, I know you really want a pet, and I love that you care so much. You can start there, but I'm sure you'll come up with something very creative. But you definitely want to empathize with them. And then you want to explain responsibility. Again, a statement you could use, a pet needs care every single day. Food, walking, cleaning, vet visits. And we just don't have the capacity to do that. You'd be surprised how kids will understand. You also will want to explain the household reality. Right now, our schedule and our budget can't give a pet what it needs because you don't want to leave the dog home alone all day and barking and got to use the bathroom because if they can't get out, then they're going to mess up the house. Yeah. And back in my day, they used to always talk about the dog eating the homework. So if they're left alone, there's no telling what they would do. And then you want to offer hope, not rejection. and basically to say, because we can't get this pet now does not mean we would never have a pet. It just means not right now. And I think that is the statement you really want to lead with, because now is giving them hope that eventually we may end up getting a pet. And that's really what's going to soothe them over and allow you to move on, is that acknowledgement that, yeah, we can't do it now, but it doesn't mean we can't do it in the future. And then keep their heart open. I'm proud of you wanting to love something, because that's what it is, right? Giving them that ability to say, hey, I have a companion. I have something else to comfort me outside of my mom. If I had a little dog, a little cat, or whatever the pet is, it's just giving them that mindset of, yeah, there's something else out there. So, Mom, saying no doesn't make you a bad parent. It makes you a responsible one. And teaching your child how to understand limits with love, patience, and honesty is part of mentoring them into adulthood. Because again, pets require time, money, consistency, and legal responsibility. Things we sometimes don't have as single parents. And that's okay. The good news is there are so many other ways to fill the void, moms. So when you go back and you say, this doesn't mean never, it just means not right now, you can also say, hey, how about we go get you a nice little stuffed animal? Let me look on Amazon, see what they have available. And I guess they have robotic pets out now. And if you have a family member or friend that has dogs, cats, maybe you can make some kind of arrangement with them for your child to spend time. Volunteering at a shelter. Hey, why not, right? They have pet shelters out there, and maybe that's something you can consider. Or even pet sitting. That's a new thing now. Dog walking. All of these things are new that's available that you might want to consider for your child, so that they can still have some form of access to a pet if you speak with the owner and see how that works out. So there's still various options that you can consider. And again, it's still going to give them the access to animals, just not in your house. Now, if today's episode encouraged you, please share and subscribe to the Mom2Mentor podcast, and tell another mom, tell another parent, because we grow stronger when we grow together. So don't forget, visit SingleMomsUnitedPodcast.com to share your thoughts, your stories, and your journey, because we are more than nurturers. We are mentors.